Very good morning to class 8 students. Today we have to start the second part. I am here on page number 10. We are talking about the second chapter from your It So Happened supplementary reader, Children at Work. Let us start with the second part. What we have learnt in the first part was Velu arrived at Chennai Central Railway Station and met with a strange girl who helped her find the food and he could have some sort of, tiffin meal. Right. I'm here on page number 10. Velu follows his friend through the crowded streets to a big building. Behind the building, there is a big garbage bin. Velu wonders why they are there at all. Right. So this is what we are going to learn in this part. Velu started following the strange girl because she promised him that she could help him finding food. Right. So this is just the preface and this is what we are going to learn in this video. Unknowingly, let it be, but he started following this strange girl. He caught up with the girl as she was leaving the station when they got to the road. Velu found that the vehicles kept coming, never stopped for anyone. Smoke and dust flew at him from all the sides, making his head spin. These two lines have to be underlined. Why was he confused and what was actually giving him a headache and making him feel dizzy? That coming to Chennai, a metro city, a big city like Chennai, it was for the first time that he was visiting and he did not know what to do, where to go, how to go about the city. He was a newcomer. So what did he do? He was so confused. He was standing there in the middle of the traffic and he was thinking perhaps the traffic would stop by because he had to cross the road, but it never stopped. You see, so all such things plus the pollution in the city, the smoke, the dust, it really made his head spin. They had to wait for a long time before they could find a gap to run through. Velu kept hesitating and the girl finally dragged him almost to the other side. This you can see in the picture. See, I'll show you the picture. You see, you can see this strange girl wearing a banyan almost dragging Velu with his bundle in his hand out of the traffic. And the others are honking horns and you can see the spectacle there. Right. What do you think you are doing? Grazing cows? If you stand around in the middle of the road like that, you will be chutney. Well, this is the truth. The strange girl talks like an adult, as if she has more experience of, going about and living in a metro city like Chennai. So what does she's actually scolding Velu that if you stand there in the middle of the traffic is not going to wait for you and you are at the risk of getting run over by those heavy big vehicles. So you don't stand there. What do you think you are doing? You're standing there like a grazing cow. Don't stand there. You'll be a, chutney in a minute. Right. This is, it speaks about her, experience, that she is more experienced and perhaps she herself has gone through a lot what Velu is going through now. Plus, it also speaks about that strange girl's sense of humor. You see, she talks like an adult. Velu's heart was still beating fast. He looked back at Central Station and the traffic speeding by. How had they managed to come through that? That was a question. That somehow that strange girl managed to evacuate, something like rescuing him out of the traffic. They walked along the side of the road under some huge signboards. Right. Velu looked up at the pictures. What sort of pictures were there? Please underline. Banyans, car tires, pens, a woman holding a box, different types of signboards. Usually in metro cities, especially when you have the, the bigger roads on both the sides on the both the sides of a flyover or a bridge, you can always see those big sign boards put up, and they're always, adverting and propagating one or the other thing. And Chennai Central, no exception. Yes, it was, a metro city, so the same thing was found there by Velu. Different adverts were made through this signboards. The writing was all in English, of course, so he did not know what it meant. Well, perhaps Velu, it is, understood that he could not educate himself in English, perhaps, so he could read only in his mother tongue, that was Tamil. So all the signboards were put up in English, so he could not read and he did not know what did they mean. The girl turned onto a wide bridge and walked up. Velu stopped and peeped over the railing. Under him, the road ran into the city. In the distance, he could see huge buildings and towers and more roads. So you see, now they were standing at a height somewhere on a bridge. And as soon as he just peeped down, Velu could see different branches of roads going into the city, running into the city. Different road goes into a different direction, and he could see so many vehicles, passing by both the ways to and fro. See that big building with a wall around it. If you are not careful, you will soon be counting bars there. The girl grinned and pointed at a huge building. This is another important, paragraph. You can underline it or just put a tick mark there. It again speaks about the girl's experience of residing in the big cities and the business that she was carrying. You see, what did she's, warning Velu. Warning in the sense she is expecting Velu to do the same thing what she was doing. Perhaps if she was picking rags and surviving on to picking rags, or she was a rag picker and she was surviving on that, earning her daily bread with that, she expected Velu to be the same. You remember what did she say in the first part to Velu? She asked, "Oh, have you come here to become rich?" So you get to be careful of what you are doing here. If you have come here to be rich, that means you have to take a lot many precautions and beware of that big building which is surrounded by the walls, because that is nothing else but the central jail. You will be imprisoned if you do not work cautiously, conscientiously. That means you have to be aware of what you are doing. Some sort of illegal activities is what she is talking about. Yes. Okay. Green means, laugh, to laugh with, mouth open, grinning. Velu squinted. Yes, and read the Tamil sign. What was that building for? Central Jail. Squinted, that means he just looked at something with one of his eyes closed, as if he was taking a close look and was trying to understand what is this building about. Right. Why? I haven't done anything wrong. So Velu questions. Well, the question to be imprisoned comes only when you do something wrong, and I have not done anything wrong so far. See what she replies to it. You don't have to do anything, just don't get caught. That's all. You see, it is even police tend to, catch these children, because you never know that in the, under the disguise of rag picking, they may be carrying something illegal. So it's very easy to be, to get caught with the police also, in the hands of police, and then be imprisoned behind the bars. So it's very difficult. I mean, that is why she is asking Velu to be cautious. She says you don't have to do anything. Just be careful that the police police department doesn't come behind you and just to catch you for what you are doing. Right. What does she mean? Velu wondered. Meanwhile, the girl was already heading down the bridge with the sack on her shoulder. What was in it? He had seen her putting plastic cups into it at the station. See, still Velu is not clear about the job is being done by the girl or what she does. She did not ask her why you are carrying such a big sack thing on your shoulder and why you are collecting the plastic cups. Everything is left at the mercy of time. Everything is left, Velu is left at the mercy of his own. The girl is in hurry because she has to continue what she is doing. She also is abide by the timeline, the deadline that she has to collect some amount of cups and go and give it to the recycle units for which she is going to be paid off. Right? So she does not explain everything in so detail, but yes, she warns sort of, she gives warning and alerts Velu every now and then. Right. What are you carrying in that bag? Finally, Velu could not contain his curiosity and asked. Things, bottles, papers, any scrap that comes round. Velu wondered that what she was doing with them, but he felt shy to ask any more questions. Well, could not ask anything more than why you are carrying this sack on your shoulder. It was still morning, but the sun blasted down on the tar and Velu's bare feet burned. It was not like walking on a mud road. He was soaked with sweat. He tried hard to walk in the shade and keep up with the girl at the same time. She walked really fast. How far away was the food? You see, these two are in search of food. Only the girl knows the destination, where they are going to, the venue, where they are going to find food. What Velu had to do is nothing but to follow bare feet, and walking on a tar road was, very difficult, even more difficult than walking on those muddy roads of village. And he was on the top bare feet. The girl perhaps was also bare feet, but it did not make much matter to the girl because she was used. And Velu was a newcomer, so he was facing more problems. Right. After almost an hour of walking, they stopped in front of a big building. The building was named Shri Rajeshwari Pranasana Kalyana Mandapam. Read Velu slowly. Well, I think it was written in Tamil, so he could read it. A sign with letters made of flowers said, Groom J.V. Vinayagan and the bride named as Rani. So these two were happily getting married. Velu stared at the big cars parked outside. One of the cars had a flower garland and roses taped onto it. The girl looked around, pulled one off quickly, and stuck in her hair. Come on, she said, this is a very important line. She plucked off one of a flower and put into her shaggy, untidy hair. You see, this speaks a lot about these children who survive in the streets and on the roads with no one with them. You see, that means these children also have the same dreams, the same desires to be fulfilled in. You see, they also want to go to school. They also want to live the life, lived by all those normal children. So she did not have to ask anyone before plucking flowers like any other child does. Any other small girl who wants to put, the garland in their, beautiful hair. Even this strange girl wished the same. She also has the same dreams and the same desires. So this sentence is very important here. These children who survive on streets, they constantly compare. Their minds constantly, keep comparing themselves with those normal children. And they are, in constant wait when they are going to fulfill their dreams. And the strange girl and Velu, both are one of them. Okay. She is asking Velu to hurry up. Are we going to eat here? Asked Velu, looking at the huge hall and people inside. Well, for him, seeing so many people getting together at one place was anyway strange because he has never seen people so many people at the same place. But this was a wedding venue, and so many people, parked their car and they got together to have fun in the wedding and to eat the feast which was to be served. So, this strange girl has to take Velu to the same place in search of food. Hopes, said the girl, shaking her thumb under his nose. She led him behind the hall. There was a big garbage bin overflowing with rubbish. Two goats were standing on the pile, fighting for a banana leaf. A cloud of flies buzzed around their legs. There was a rotten smell in the air all around. The girl picked up a squishy banana and held it out to Velu. Right. Now you can see this scene here. You look at the picture. They are standing almost in the middle of the garbage heap, and the goats, the stray animals fighting there for food, and so as these two. They too have to be treated the same. They are looking for food like those stray animals in this heap of leftover, not the fresh food, and with that rotten smell all around them. Velu is quite surprised because he is not a rag picker. He belongs to a good family. He fled his house, and because he doesn't have anyone with him, the strange girl has to employ him into the same job that she is doing. It's not her fault also, because she thinks that children come to this place and they have to involve. I'm using this phrase, they have to be employed like this. Rag picking is another form of child labor. And the child who comes to the big city has to survive on his own or on her own. She's only becoming a helping hand here. And she gives Velu a squishy banana. Here's your food. Velu was shocked. Are we going to eat their leftovers? Shay, come on. What do you think I am? A dog? I only take untouched food. Here, some more. Catch. She threw him a vada. Velu looked at it with distance. He is shocked. He does not want himself to be treated like a stray animal. Well, but nothing else can be done. So sad, so unfortunate. I mean, sadly, he had to be treated like this. Come on, hero, eat this. You think I like it? I told you I'll find you something to eat. Don't think I have money to buy food for you. Well, had she possessed some money, she could have utilized it for herself. So she's, justifying the question asked by Velu. She said, please do not expect me to buy you food, because I shall not be. You be my guest and I will serve you the same way I serve myself. Don't think I have money to buy food for you. You would better eat this, what you get, until you have your own money. See, in other words, she is inviting him to be employed the way she is being employed. Just being a rag picker. Velu hesitated, but his stomach squeezed him again. The hunger pangs are kicking him in his tummy, right in his tummy. And he's helpless. He gulped down the banana and vada. His stomach felt better immediately. Well, the tummy got food finally after a long time, perhaps after 42 hours. So he felt better. He forgot that it was a leftover and not the fresh food. He could have eaten at least 10 times more, but where was the food to eat 10 times more? But the girl could find only one more banana, which she ate herself. So hardly they could find 2 bananas and 1 vada, which they too had to share between 2 of them. Okay, it's too early. They have only eaten tiffin. That means, a breakfast Perhaps a very small snack. Not the whole meal like the main course followed by the dessert and the cocktail and this and that and all. No, only a very small part of the main course is what they could have. If you are still hungry, you will have to wait for them to finish lunch. Oh my god, this is even worse. That if you want to eat more, you'll have to wait. Let them finish and a lot of leftover will be coming in. Oh my god, you can wait if you want. I have to work. I'm going. She picked up a couple of bottles from the heap and threw it in her sack. Then she walked off. Velu was panicked. All these things that he was going through was so new to him. He realized that if the girl left him, he had no idea where he was and what to do. Please underline this also. He is still confused. He does not know how to go about Chennai. It was better to stick to her. She seemed to know her way around. He ran after her again, second time. He had to follow this strange girl. Hey, he called. He did not even know the girl's name. Hey, what is your name? He asked, hurrying behind her. She stopped and turned around. Oh, so you have been following me around without even knowing my name. Jaya! I am not following you. What then? You got your food. Can I come with you? Where are you going? Finally, she introduces her name. Herself. I am Jaya. Come if you want. This bag is full. I have to go home to get another one. Okay, so it seems the more stuff that she gets into the sex, the more money that she will earn. Here, this is the story of those rag picker children who survive on picking rags. Well, it has become a business by now. It's not only children, even elders and adults are involved in this business. Finally, there is one term for all: rag pickers. Let's do our comprehension. Can Velu read Tamil and English? How do you know? Velu cannot read English, but he can read Tamil because he has not studied English, it seems. But in his village, he could read Tamil better. If you are not careful, you will soon be counting bars there, the girl said. What is she referring to? Well, she is referring to the central jail if he is not careful in what he is doing. What does she mean when she says, if you are not careful? That means she refers to doing something wrong. Well, rag picking is not wrong, but it is taken otherwise sometimes by the police. You see, so she is sort of warning Velu to save himself from the reach of the police. That means saving him from going into behind the bars. Right. Where did the girl... she says something a little later which means the same. Find that sentence. Well, it is here on page number 11. Yes. She says that just don't get caught. That's all. That means you finish picking rags and flee from that place. Disappear from that place before the police reaches you. Where did the girl lead Velu to? The girl led Velu to a wedding venue named Sri Raj Rajeshwari Prasanna Kalyana Mandapam. What did they get to eat? Well, they managed to get some food like a squishy, mushy bananas, and a small piece of vada. What work did she do? Think one word answer. I think I'd already said this answer. We have completed the second part. The third part is going to take us to the climax of this, this chapter, and to take you to the main essence of this chapter, that how finally Velu, who fled the house for the fear of his father's beatings, ended up being a rag picker. See, when he fled from his house, he had no idea what the future is going to be. But his future was waiting for him just as a rag picker. So you see, when the child flees, when one wants to flee the house, they don't know any idea, they have no idea about what is going to happen in future. And the child cannot bother about the future. But this is what happens with the child. The child ends up with the least amount of resources that can help him. Like Velu ended up with only one resource of rag picking, helped by Jaya. So we talk about this part in our next video. Till then, you keep learning, children. Thank you very much.